Hi guys, how are we going? Is this streaming okay? I'll jump online. I just wanted to explain exactly what's happening here, and I'm just at home. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but I want to explain exactly what's going on. So I'll just wait and see if we get a few more tune in, and we'll just watch Bitcoin do its thing in the meantime. Guys, please hit that thumbs up, hit that like, share it around and whatever, and I'll just make sure that this is all working properly because I haven't done a live stream in a while, and it looks like it's coming through okay. Very good. Hey guys, okay, cool. I've got my other computer up so I can read some comments. Nice. Short squeeze is what we are witnessing. So I want to walk you guys through this. Popcorn's almost ready. Good stuff, Glenn. So at the moment, first of all, it's a pleasure to see Bitcoin doing its thing. And those of us that knew this technology in Bitcoin's not dead, we knew the buyers were there somewhere in the background. You know, this is an 11% move now in the last couple of hours. So, look, it's good to see Bitcoin have some real life. If you've heard me talk about Elliott wave theory, you know that we look for impulsive moves to determine the direction of the next series of waves, and that comes from human emotion. Literally a few hours ago, I had a request. I've been telling you guys about these requests from randoms on Facebook or friends of friends that I've been getting. Someone literally just messaged me to ask if they can buy 5,000 Bitcoin. So look, these orders are there in the background. There's no doubt there's some big players coming into space, and you know, it's not really surprising to me to finally see this when everyone's trying to wait for that bottom, or everyone's playing this as if we're going to have these, you know, stair steps higher and these flags and then capitulation. But we did, break to the upside. If you watched the video with Charting Man Dan and I did today, Dan spoke about he expected this to break slightly to the downside, but to stay in this pattern and keep this equilibrium channel. And I spoke about how I fully expect this to break to the upside. And if we do, it's going to be violent because of the short position. So we mentioned that, you know, at the time there was a bit under 40,000. So after that video time of recording, we've got up to over 40,000 short positions on Bitcoin. So far, only 3% now of those have been covered. So there's still 40,000 Bitcoin out there that need to be bought or that are going to feel the pain. And in stock market terms, you know, we talk about max pain. I mean, so often, and particularly on Bitfinex, these aren't professional traders for the most part. These guys are often wrong. It's so dangerous to be shorting the market after it's had a 70% correction. This is literally what we mean when I talk about dumb money. You know, the time to be shorting Bitcoin was when it was at 20,000 and it was overbought on all the daily RSIs and the MACDs. And, you know, we were talking about that from here to here about how extreme it was. The daily RSI was in the 90s. But yet everyone waits until Bitcoin capitulates and it's down 70%, it's been down for 4 months to load up on the short positions, and that's just, you know, that's dumb money. So this is what we're seeing. These people are going to continue to panic. You know, we're at extreme levels now, overbought. This is just on a 15-minute candle. So look, we're probably going to have to at least have a cool off and a pullback. We can't stay in the 90s, you know, for too long. No, that's only on the 15-minute time frame. Let's zoom out again. So 85 on the hourly RSI. So yeah, look, at some stage you're going to have to cool off for a number of hours. At some stage overnight in Australia here now, it's 9:30 at night. So this is the US. This is, as I've said time and time again, where we tend to get volatility. We tend to get volume when the US markets open and traders wake up and get their positions sorted one way or another for the day. So look, this is great to see. As I spoke about before, there's only at the time we'd had a very little move considering some of those shorts had started to cover. When Dan and I had been talking very early this morning, so this was before all these candles. So at this stage we'd had about 2% of the shorters had covered their position, but Bitcoin had only moved about 3%. Whereas now we're seeing, only 3% have covered, but the move is far more significant, that 10, 11% move. And as we're seeing here, as I said, when that daily RSI gets up into the 90s, the hourly or the 15-minute, the shorter time frames, traders are going to take profit, and we need that to cool off and reset. But guys, I hope this is interesting. I hope the people that have been telling me crypto's dead, when are you going to admit it, Nugget, maybe they might not comment on this video, because you guys know that I surround myself with the technology and the startups, and I've never stopped believing one bit in Bitcoin since 2012 to now, and we're about to see the next wave of high net wealth individuals, institutional money, regulation. These markets are going to mature. Trader Cobb and I did that video the other day about talking about the markets maturing. Let's have a look down the list here. So I've got some swing positions on OMG and IOTA. Wow, IOTA's up 25% at one stage. So some of these good coins are going to have good moves, as we continue to say. VeChain is a monster here in the last few days. Let's just zoom out on the 4 hour. So VeChain bottomed at around $2, so that's up 60%. EOS has had a monster move. Again, just be careful buying anything after it's been hyped. EOS is now up 140% in the past few days. So yeah, there's huge moves in some good coins. This is good for your long-term portfolio if you're owner of these good projects that I believe in. Just be careful out there speculating, and don't margin trade and get too overextended on the short term. Anything can happen short term. We're not out of the woods. As Dan and I said this morning, we're still watching this longer term daily downtrend. But in terms of the best looking daily candles we've had, considering how negative the sentiment's been and everything, this is good to see. There's plenty of time left in the day, over 12 hours left. So this daily candle could be quite significant by the end of the day if this buying continues at this rate we've seen in the last few hours. But as we said, longer term downtrend, we're still mindful that we could get one last flush, but yeah, I definitely am leaning towards those shorts. So often we just see retail investors being wrong at the worst possible time, and when there's 39,000 short positions that still need to be covered. That's just on Bitfinex, guys. So think about the numbers on all the other exchanges, particularly people that use such high margin and leverage on BitMEX and those sort of things. That's what happens when these people are forced to cover those huge positions, betting that Bitcoin's going to go down. Your account, you wake up, and if you haven't been sensible with stops, or even if your stops get skipped over, how many times have we seen that happen on crypto exchanges? That's why we see these violent moves, and that's why we're patient and we love crypto. And I'm a big advocate of having your long-term positions in those coins you believe in, and having a small amount to allocate if you're just new to trading. If you're not a professional trader, respect the market. The market's not here to make you rich. The market's here to take money away from those of you that are impatient. You only need to be on the wrong side of 1 or 2 10% moves, and you've lost your whole account if you're margin trading. So be sensible, guys. You can't say the downtrend's over from a single hourly candle. Absolutely not. But I mean, this is one of the biggest moves we've seen. We've got to be realistic. This is $1,000 move from bottom to top. And we just haven't seen something like this in quite a while to the upside, or even, in terms of 1 hour candles, this is probably one of the most significant we've seen, even to the downside when we've had these really nasty sell-offs, guys. This is far bigger than any downside candle we've seen. And that's why we look for those in Elliott wave theory. So this could mark the start of a new wave count after we've had some sort of diagonal, just range bound action. There's no real longer term clear directional impulsive wave counts that I can see for Elliott wave theory. And if we're starting a new bull run, this is what you want to see. So we did have a big capitulation low, and then everyone step in and a huge volume candle. We've just had this chop sideways, and then buyers step in and overwhelm those short sellers. In a perfect scenario here, we'd let this 15-minute RSI cool off and get back to here, even a little bit lower, and we'd form a flag, chop around somewhere here. If you want to get out your tools, and some people will go from the bottom, some people will go from where it first broke out on these new highs here. Wherever you want to take it from, all I'm looking for is that it stays up and consolidates, in a perfect world above the 23.6 or anywhere really above the 50%. We don't want to give too much back. Let the RSI cools off and then have another leg higher. That would really scare the shorts. That would start to liquidate all those retail investors that haven't been smart. They just think the market's going down no matter what, and this is going to be easy money. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. My marriage is safe. So guys, I am getting married this weekend. I might take a couple of days off next week, but you know how much I love everything about these crypto markets. I'll find it hard to at least not check in regularly. And I do have another interview I'm going to upload tomorrow where I talk about the Chinese coins regulation, what the stance is coming out of China. And we've seen some of those Chinese-based projects perform extremely well. So guys, I've been talking for long enough. Thanks to everyone that hit that like button, who's been sharing these videos around and whatever. Tough times. We've seen some of those channels that do pump and dumps and shield coins and ICO reviews. Their viewers and their subscriptions have really died off. Our channels continue to grow. You guys in the community have been absolutely fantastic. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Cheers.